instruct you to do it and force you to do it, you're going to have to do it. And give some feedback. You get feedback
Hey guys, I've just picked up this Fiat 500. It's 2000. Okay, I'm sorry about the enthusiasm. Talk about a letdown, especially after I've just wowed you with some fancy new graphics. I was getting over the man flu, so let me take over and tell you what's going on. I've gone and bought a 2009 Fiat 500 1.2 pop. With 221,000 miles on the clock. It runs, it drives, it's got an MOT, it's got no service history whatsoever. For those of you that are subscribed to the channel, might be asking, Steve, what about the MR2? Well, as you can see, it's still here, and I will be making more videos on it, I promise. By looking at the MR2 as a whole project, I don't have the necessary skills, or I'm very rusty on the skills that are going to be needed to get this car to where I want to be. And I really want to do as much of the work as I possibly can. So what I'm planning on doing is creating a separate series where I just buy cheap cars where I can practice certain things on that I'm either not very good at or don't even know how to do. So say for example, welding or bodywork, I can start off on a cheap car that I don't care about. Because I don't care about it, I'm probably going to be a lot more braver in the things that I try to do, because worst case scenario, I have to scrap the whole car because I've completely destroyed it. But as I don't care about it, it doesn't really matter. If on the other hand it all goes really well, I can just then sell that car and buy another cheap car that needs a load of work doing to it that I'm not very good at, and just keep repeating. Anyway, back to the Fiat. When I got it, it absolutely stank. It took everything I had just to not puke up inside it. I couldn't even really get close enough to it to record a lot of before footage. You can see some grossness on the seats, but the smell was just unbelievable. It was hands down the worst car I've ever smelled. Now sadly I can't film a smell, but I can try and describe it. And it was a mix between old cigarettes, stale old milk, and really stinky cheesy feet. That's the best way I can describe it. Anyway, I'm going to hand you back over to past Steve now so you can see the lengths he had to go through to deal with this biohazard that he brought home. Straight off the bat I could see this white fluffy stuff everywhere, which I assumed was mould. Everywhere I saw this, I just sprayed with some white vinegar. So now the car smells like tobacco, old sour milk, cheesy feet and vinegar. I began by removing the seats, which had all sorts of I don't know what on. There was nothing special, as with most seats, just a bolt in each corner holding the rails to the floor. Also some electrical connectors. I had the battery disconnected for a while first, so there's no danger of any airbags accidentally going off. Now the seats are out, that revealed some more of this white mould stuff, so that got the same white vinegar treatment. And then onto the back bench, just two bolts holding that in. And finally two bolts on each side for the rear backrests. I then started to remove the interior panels. When I reached the rear quarter panels, the seatbelt anchor bolts on both sides felt cross-threaded, so rather than potentially causing an issue later on, I just left them in place. want to remove the carpet, but the centre of the dash connects to the body of the car in the middle, so I carefully cut the carpet so I could get this out. This area is covered with trim, so when it's all back together, no one's going to see this. I also found some creative wiring under the centre console. With the carpet out, I found some money, which was always a good thing, and I don't know why I haven't shown a close-up, but there was also pieces of broken glass everywhere, so I had a quick vacuum just to clean up some of the loose debris. This carpet underlay was soaking wet and was barely attached to the carpet. I think this was the source of the sour milk smell, so I just ripped it all off.
I think that I'm going to hiding.
Using a stiff bristle brush on my drill, I tried to dislodge as much debris as I could from the carpet fibres before vacuuming out.
I could be the one who saved you from this place. We could be as one and we'll escape.
Following this, I applied a degreaser and worked it in with my drill, and then I used my extractor to see if I can pull some of this muck out of the carpet. I was definitely pulling out a lot of dirt. However, this process was taking absolutely ages, and despite how much I tried, the carpet still absolutely stank. So, as I couldn't suck the smell out of the carpet, I was going to blast it out. Just look at all that muck.
Going to a place that's far. Staring
A
at
few passes later, there's nothing but clean water being sucked out with my extractor.
I could be the one who saved you from this hard
I took a quick break as I found a bee in distress. I left him somewhere safe and I gave him a little cap full of sugar water. And speaking of water, it was about time I emptied my extractor. Look at how gross that is. Time to go back and check on my little friend. He'd flown away, so that little cap of sugar water obviously did the job. Here's the driver's seat. Look how gross that looked. And despite being outside, it still absolutely stunk being close to it. I thought it'd make the video more interesting if I did a quick 50-50, before or after if you will, just one pass of my drill and extraction method. So this is the difference. Just one pass, and look how much cleaner that side already looks. So I hope you guys appreciated that lovely little 50-50 demonstration, because for me it was a bit of a mistake. It didn't matter how many passes I did over the seat as a whole, I could not get rid of that line down the middle. After a few more attempts, I'd come to the conclusion that the dirt was so deep embedded into the seat and my extractor just was not strong enough to pull it out. Once the droids had finished whatever it was they were beeping about, we got back to work. Robbie 6000 is my steam cleaner, so by combining steam with the degreaser, more of the grime was being broken down into smaller parts, so George was able to extract it. Also, possibly the afternoon sun was drying out the degreaser too quickly, so I moved to a more shaded part of the garden to make some more progress. After an afternoon of degreasing, steaming and extracting, the transformation was amazing. As the seats dried, they did reveal some spots of grime that I missed, which I took care of off camera, but they smelled fantastic. Well, they smelled of degreaser, which I would take over what they did smell like any day of the week. Good news, I can stay inside the car now without wanting to puke everywhere. There is still a lingering smell, there's all sorts of sticky grottiness everywhere where the carpet was, so I'm going to have to really go to town in here, I think, to eliminate it completely. Also, the headliner's still in, and that's looking rather grotty as well. So I think I'll take that out next and see if I can do anything with it. I surprised myself with the seats. They're looking really good compared to how they started. I really surprised myself there, so with any luck I can surprise myself again with this. There's all sorts of random stickiness all over the floor and stuff. I mean, you know it's bad when you find money and that's literally welded to the body of the car. So after I've got this headliner out, I think I'm just going to go nuts in here with a steam cleaner as well and just completely clean everything, and hopefully that'll eliminate the rest of the odours. Let's go. So with my sights now set on the headliner, I was back in the car. It was really easy to take out. It's just the passenger grab handle to remove, the courtesy light, hooks in the rear, the A-pillar trim, some fir tree clips, and all that holds it in then is the seals around the door and outer came. I continued with my degreaser, drill, steamer and extraction method on a small area of the headliner, as I was afraid that too much of any of this would in fact compromise the glue. But it turns out it could handle it really well, so I just went absolutely full ham on it. This thing turned out absolutely amazing. It almost looks brand new, and no smells now. Well, again, degreaser smell, but that's certainly a step up. While that was drying off, I went back into the car and decided I was going to remove as many of the dash panels as possible, as no doubt there's probably years of dirt hidden away in there, probably being a source of some more odours. So out with the blower controls. If you do this, make sure you remember where all the dials were before you pulled it out. I wasn't able to disconnect the electrical connector for the rear window, so I had to remove the whole thing. It was only 3 Torx screws, so not a problem. I'm not really sure what people call this colour piece of the dashboard, but that's next on the list to come out. There's only a few screws holding it in and a little electrical connector behind the 3 buttons, so if you're doing this, don't pull it out too far. Next it was time to say goodbye to this janky power splitter thing. In the lower part of the dashboard that surrounds the gear stick, you can already see now some of the mess that I'm uncovering. Then onto the instrument cluster bezel, followed by the top steering column cover. Yes, it would have been easier if I did this the other way round. I could make up a justification for why I didn't, I just honestly don't know. I guess I like making life harder for myself. Now out with the glove box, only a few screws holding this in, And then I moved on to the instrument cluster, which was so easy compared to getting the one out of my MR2. I didn't have the correct tools to remove the stereo, but 4th screwdrivers works just fine. I'm going to trust that none of my viewers are going to use this technique to go around stealing car stereos. No time to undo that janky wiring I found under the centre console, putting everything back to stock. I went back in the car once more with the vacuum cleaner to try and get as much loose debris cleaned up as I could. I then went in with an airline, blowing in all the little holes and crevices all around the dashboard and anywhere else in the car where I couldn't quite get a vacuum cleaner, just to dislodge everything. And then I went back in with the vacuum cleaner once more just to clean it all up. Now it's time for the steam cleaner to get in there and do its thing. I love my steam cleaner, look at it just completely dissolve all this gunk. And before any of you say anything, I'm not going to use this tea towel on all my dishes. This is just an old one I keep laying about for these sort of jobs.
I'm barely even started, and you won't even know what hit you when I'm done. I'm not done with you. I'm barely even started. I'm not done with you. I barely even started. I'm not done with you. I'm barely even started, and you won't even know what hit you when I'm done.
After I'd finished steaming the whole car, I put in my ozone machine that will take care of anything that I might have missed.
I'm not done with you. I'm barely even started.
While that was running, it was bath time. I just added some multi-purpose cleaner to some water. I then cleaned all the interior pieces that I had removed with either a sponge or a magic eraser. Anything electrical like cigarette lighter or buttons I removed before this.
And you won't even know what hit you when I'm done. I'm not done with you. 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 I'm barely even started. I'm not done with you. I'm barely even started. I'm not done with you. I'm barely even started. And you won't even know what hit you when I'm done. I'm not done with you. I'm barely even started. I'm not done with you. I barely even started. I'm not done with you. I'm barely even started. And you won't even know what hit you when I'm done.
I have to agree that water was disgusting, but at least these parts don't smell anymore. As it was out of the car, I thought I'd just give the instrument cluster a quick little refresh. If you want a little bit more detail about this, look at my MR2 video where I've done the same thing to that instrument cluster. That's so much better. There's no smell whatsoever in here now. That ozone machine is just the last little tiny piece of the puzzle. Now I've just got to remember how everything goes back together. Let's go.
I know I messed it up, broken my soul.
So as I put this all back together, I was just going to point out that this isn't really supposed to be like a detailing video or anything like that. I'm sure the car's still going to show its age, and yes, I could have been a bit more delicate with some of the pieces, but eliminating the odour was the main goal, and it does just generally involve cleaning or removing the source of the smell. As I mentioned earlier in the video, this car's got to be for like practice and learning on, so I'm well aware that the time and money I'm going to spend on this car doesn't make economical sense with how little it's worth. But in my mind, the money I'm going to lose is what I'm paying for like an education and experience, so it's worth it to me. Back in with the headliner. I was so impressed with how this turned out and how well it held up under all the steam I used. I was almost certain I was going to have to recover this. I have had a few Land Rovers in my time, and if I were to go anywhere near them with steam, they would fail. In fact, in some cases you could just sneeze near them and it would fall off. As the old carpet underlay was stink central and now in the bin. Oh yeah, got this off Amazon. It's a little thinner than the stuff that was there before, but I think it'll work just fine. Back in with the carpet. It's amazing how just putting this in changes the car from looking mostly dismantled to almost finished.
I kinda adore you, but don't get too proud. You're like my favorite snack, I won't say it out loud. I won't say you're perfect, we all know you're not. But hey, you're the best kind of way that I got. Your songs are in my head, it's on repeat. The awkward dance I do, but only on your street. I won't say you're perfect, we all know you're not. But hey, you're the best kind of way that I got.
So you didn't see me take any of the centre console apart, as I tripped over the power cable to my camera while I was doing it, and that whole time lapse was corrupted. I did try data recovery program, but the footage looked so bad I just didn't even want to show it to you. See, this car's teaching me things already. Don't trip over your power cable while you're filming things.
No, you're not. But hey, you're the best kind of weird that I got. Your songs are in my head, it's on repeat. The awkward dance I do, but only on your street. I won't say you're perfect, but I know you're
Finally, back in with the seats. I still can't believe these are the same ones that I removed. They look so good.
in a world full of ordinary. You're my playful dream, turning everyday moments into a sparkling scene. I won't say you're perfect. I won't say you're perfect. We all know you're not. But hey, you're the best kind.
So, after a couple of days cleaning, everything is back together, smelling lovely and looking so much better. There are some white marks on the rear seats, but no amount of cleaning made any difference to that, so I've concluded something was either spilled, which has removed some of the fabric dye, or possibly is some sort of UV damage. Let me know if you can tell from the video. Maybe fixing that might make an interesting video in the future. Tell me what you think, or tell me if you would have done anything differently and why. I think removing everything was definitely the way to go. I'm certain if I cleaned everything in place, there would have still been unpleasant smells remaining. Like the end of my last video, I must apologise once again to my subscribers for the lack of videos lately. Here in the UK we've had unusually lovely weather for several months, and because of that I've been taking advantage and spending most of my time outside. Some of it has been making some videos on this Fiat, but most of it of other projects, mainly trying to create another space to work on cars. As you have seen, there's not much room to work outside my garage. I haven't been filming any of this. I thought that it would slow me down too much, but if this is something that you're interested in, let me know and maybe I'll start making some videos on it. So, until next time, take care.